Okay, I hope I was recording because my camera just went off. But yeah, so these guys like Zerka, you know they're not in misery all the time because they're making you laugh. So the people that can't make you laugh, I mean, you might as well just stop talking and listen. And then once you listen for long enough, you might say something that's wise and humorous at the same time. Because I think wisdom has a lot of humor in it, you know? Because this world has very ironic and paradoxical situations a lot of the time. So humor is a great way to navigate through that mess. Anyhow, yeah, let's turn off this flash and compare. Okay, it looks more like vibrant. So I'm gonna do that for a bit. Less light, but sorry about that, it's nasty. But yeah, I mean, if you move that lymphatic system, you're getting the karma and the sins out of you, you know? If you get the mucus out of the system and the mucus that's holding on to the toxins that are stopping your psychophysical growth, you know? So make sure you guys move. I mean, again, disclaimer, I don't know if these breatharians are legit, but what I do know is legit is exercise, exercise, exercise. Create that CO2. You know, stop creating a life where you have to recover, sleep, and rest so much because you're eating all this death and living in death. Move, move, move. Play, play, play. Have fun. You know, jump around, dance around, prance around. You know, be like a kid again. And yeah, sometimes the kid will come down and sit down and focus on something and play. But most of the time, he's jumping around, moving, he's just unstoppable. Until the parent says, come here and sit down and eat and show some table manners, you know? So, yeah. So move that lymphatic system, because that will really change your life. Once you get the toxins out, I mean, and you guys can see it from me too after my 40-day fast, and I'm rebounding from unhygienic to hygienic diets. Like recently I've been like 95% coconut water and meat. You're gonna have a lot of pain when all the traumas and the karmas are coming out of you, and it's gonna seem like things are just getting worse, you know, but you kind of have to overcome your demons that you've put in your body, right? And it's often like a rubber banding kind of process where it's not like a straight out kind of thing. Sometimes it pulls you right back in, and then, you know, the temptations and the karmic activities that we do to ourselves to continue our unconscious living and our unconscious sleeping level of awareness, you know? So move that lymphatic system, which is the waste removal system in the body, which is the thing that, if known to everyone, the medical system would be obsolete and people would not be eating unhygienic foods. Move that lymph and return to paradise, you know? Paradise on earth, which is paradise in you, which is paradise in the cell, which is peace and harmony. And you just might find that supernatural things start to happen. For me, I think I'm like on the edge of supernatural, you know? I haven't reached like that magical level. I mean, maybe I am. I just am pretending not to be. I don't know. But I feel like I'm on the edge, you know? And yeah, maybe I gotta stay here just for a little bit longer on the edge, just so I can bring more people in, like Zerka. You know, he's bringing in the people from the next frontier of hell, and I'm on like the step where you take a step from hell to heaven, if you will. And so, yeah, I feel like I still have more things to do here in that regard. But yeah, again, bring paradise into the cell, because earth is a cell. Your body has cells. You are a cell. You are an organism in this larger organism. You know, we live on a cell, in a cell, We live in a womb. We're born from a womb. So everything is cellular. From the placenta that is you, not your mother. Your mother is hosting you, but the placenta is you. So if we figure out, and if you go into the meanings of cell, it's like conceal, probably goes into like conceive and concave as well, but just they didn't mention it. But yeah, what is concealed is the secrets of the universe are concealed within the cell. So unlock it. Again, which means take out the waste. Because the unlocking of the cell is a natural process. But with all the waste inside, how are you going to make the natural process happen with all the unnatural, artificial things in the body? It's just not going to happen, folks. Oh God, that plant over there actually kind of spooked me a little bit because it's just kind of standing out in the road. I guess it's a fallen branch from a tree, and it looked like a being. And perhaps it was a being. You know, I really do think that sometimes when you like mistake things for things, they are those things, just not in this realm. You know? So for that moment, you had like a schizophrenic sight. And yeah, so, but you know, we're so disconnected and we're taught to live a compartmentalized, boxed in life with heavy thinking and matter, everything matters, you know, everything's so serious. So, everything's so heavy. So we never get a chance to lighten up and see the things that are displayed from the higher realms. But you know, I think this is something that I've was thinking is, I feel like man is supposed to detach from like everything. So even this talk of like higher and lower realms, that's an angel and demons battle. But sometimes you got to say, angels and demons, enough with the conflict. I'm tired of taking sides. You know, let's just live. Stop battling between black and white and yellow and purple and whatever the fuck. Let's just live. Let's just live the middle way as a humble man. You know? Because, you know, much of the darkness in us, it can be, like, for instance, the sexual desire. I think that's like the biggest darkness in me. But it can be used for good. Like a real connection with somebody. If you know what I'm saying, it can raise you up. It's just that 95% of how society uses it is gonna kill you. Right? So this so-called dirty thing can be a transmutational energy. Wow, you hear those frogs? Sorry, just passing by. Love your songs though. So yeah, in those videos where I was carrying that coconut up and down, yeah, this is the road, guys. Ha! This is the lonely road where I get to clear my mind. And you know, that's what coconut climbing is for me, is just a chance to clear my mind. You know, because it's just me and the coconut tree and nothing else. You know, oftentimes when people are below me when I'm climbing the tree and they want to keep saying like, be careful, and you know, things like this, of this nature, I just tell them, be quiet, you know, silence is how I can be careful. So stop stirring up the noise. And that's much of what society does to us, is they just drown us in noise. So you can't just do one thing totally. Because if you did one thing in its totality, if you were really wholesome in one act, man, everything would be solved. So Yeah, if you do one thing wholly, totally, again in a wholesome, righteous fashion, how you do one thing is how you do everything. Oh gosh, this is like the toughest part. I'm gonna try this upper road. Yeah, there is like the main slipping area. Wait, cha 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 cha. I didn't drop any coconuts, did I? No, I don't think so. Uh-oh. Okay. Uh-oh, I don't know where the drop is here. You guys might fall. Alrighty. Safe landing. My machete's slipping though. Hold on, I'm gonna take a piss. Dang, my piss is as clean as a day with no clouds. Just crystal clear. Yeah, Orin therapy is another thing that's really has me confused these days. Because I really don't like the sound of it, but someone I talked to recently called Chris Manley, a so-called breatharian. I don't know for sure, I haven't seen him not eat for a while, but what he says seems pretty legit. He's a big fan of urine therapy, or was before he was breatharian. So it's got me thinking, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, I have coconuts, so I'm just gonna take God's urine, you know. I'm just gonna take the distilled water from the tree. Yeah, even getting distilled water from a distiller doesn't make me feel good. I mean, it probably does make me feel better, but it just psychologically. And I've had a distiller with a bad taste too, and water should not taste like anything, like true water, or I guess you could say holy water. But okay, I'm gonna end this one here because I'm approaching GB's house. I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Whew, we're finally back, folks. Jeez, my arm feels like it's falling off. My God. Wow. That's a heavy son of a bitch. Alright, let's show you the goods. This was already here. It's my leftover from the other day. Yeah, I was getting nervous only having one. Don't want to be caught tired and lethargic and dehydrated before I go up another tree, right? So we're going to bring it over here. There we go. We're going to wash these suckers in this rice irrigation. Yeah, by the way, for those interested, I'm going to be receiving messages if someone wants to come here and do a distilled water fast, a real coconut distilled water fast. You'll support the family out here, and I may volunteer to help get some coconuts, but we want to run a distilled program, a distilled water program, a God water, life water program for the ill people, because all you need is a little bit of holy water and the lymphatic stagnation will come out right out of your system. So you can arrange a health consultation with me to get a better idea of natural hygiene, which is the step before breatharian. If you're a breatharian, you don't need anyone to tell you what to do. But if you're lost, if you're a lost sheep and you need a shepherd to guide you to level up a bit, you know, give me a message. And otherwise, yeah, we invite you to come out and do a distilled water cleanse, and you'll probably pay the family here maybe $30 or something per day, with shared accommodation. And if you want your private accommodation, then we can arrange that. But yeah, and if you get your own coconuts, By gosh, I mean, it'll be practically almost no cost. Maybe just a little bit of the maintenance cost required to upkeep this place, but yeah, $30 is if you're not going up the trees yourself and risking your life, you know. Someone like me, they like risking their life because it means they're living that much more. So it almost doesn't even become a risk anymore, but yeah, it's therapeutic seeing these coconuts get clean and ready for consumption. I mean, how amazing is it that it's just, it's like a fully protected shell. You know, Mahilam, the founder of this village, the grandfather of GB, the guy who, yeah, did a lot of great things. He said that coconuts are the only thing that remains safe even when there's, in times of pollution, you know. So, I was just washing my feet a bit. Well, okay, I'm gonna wash off. Maybe I should do it live. Anyhow, I'll see you in a bit.